Listen, Canelo, Triple G's in your division. David Benavidez has been fiending to fight you. Caleb Plant's even mentioned your name. Are any of these fighters, and we're certainly not looking over Mr. Montiel at all, but are any of those fighters in your immediate future?
I'm ready to fight the best in the world. I'm the best in the world, so I get a chance to show you guys. And I'm not gonna let this guy over here stop me. The belt not going nowhere. I'm telling you, the belt staying right here in H-Town. This is what we do. Trust me. Nothing you can do about it. Nothing. It's my belt. It's my legacy. You will find out June 19th. I'll see you in the ring.
Folks, it all goes.
You know, this is let's just talk about it. This is a pointless fight. It means nothing. And when it comes to Jermall Charlo and where he is WBC champion, I'm pissed off. I've been pissed off for quite some time that the WBC bitched up and made Canelo the franchise champion, started this whole franchise bullshit, because he was the mandatory for Canelo for quite some time. So now he's stuck in the politics of being on the other side of the street. So, you know, and he won't fight Demetrius Andrade. I can understand, you know, the Charlo's issue. Here, let's go to the face-off. This Juan Macías Montiel, yo, bro, listen. You know, I understand they had to do something. I predicted that Charlo was going to have a really hard time getting the fight after Sergey Derevianchenko. Because when you follow the rankings, you know, you can kind of see like, yo, like who is he going to fight? Especially when you're looking at who the other guys are fighting in the division. But I expect for him to walk through Montiel 22-4-2 with 22 KOs. He did get an upset over James Kirkland, a draw to Hugo Centeno, who Charlo beat to become the WBC interim champion, correct? Knocked out in 2 by Jaime Munguia. Split decision in 8 to a guy by the name of Johnny Freddy Navarrete Montano. Another split decision to Alejandro Barrera. That name sounds familiar. Basically, you know, it just, it shouldn't be happening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not going to sit here and try to motherfucking sugarcoat the shit. I don't want to see the shit, but I'm going to cover it on the strength of the Charlos. Even though there's still probably bad blood between, you know, myself and the Charlos. But if we were to say who's the better Charlo right now and who's doing more, it's clearly Jermall Charlo, politics or not. You know, Charlo is going to have to do something. Now, it seems as though they're all waiting in line to try to get the Canelo sweepstakes. It's looking like Caleb Plant is going to be next. So what the fuck should happen then? Charlo and Benavidez should fight each other, and then the winner fights Canelo after that if Canelo chooses them. You see what I'm saying? All that shit on the PBC side with them waiting and not fighting each other, that shit's pissing me off, man, when it comes to Canelo. So let's go look at the division as a whole. WBC franchise, well, I don't think Canelo's a franchise champion anymore at 160. He's not going to be, I mean, he probably still has a status, but he's not going down to 160 for nobody. He even said Golovkin, anybody who wants to fight him is going to have to move to 168, and I don't even think he's going to allow a catch weight. He's the A side. Why would he do that? So you got Charlo, WBC champion, Royota Murata and WBA Super, and Golovkin, the IBF, are supposed to be facing at the end of the year. So who the fuck is, Golovkin going to fight in the meantime? Him and Murata are supposed to be having some card. Maybe they'll both be on the same card, fighting different opponents. Chris Eubank Jr. and Demetrius Andrade are in some talks, right? Isn't that a fight that I'm hearing being explored? And we got to fix that and change that right there. But if you look at it, when you're a champion, you have to fight somebody in the top 15 of the of your sanctioning body. So, you know, of course you have Jaime Munguia there, ranked number 1. Salusky, I don't really want to see that, but he's been linked to Munguia, and Munguia's fighting, what, in a couple of weeks, right? The 19th, on that packed-ass day. The same day as this fight, but we're going to talk about the undercard in a minute. You know, I mean, look at the rankings. They're shite. They are shit. Like, bro. So he's in a tough situation. It's like he may be forced to go to 168 pounds, where at least, you know, there's, you know, some better opportunities. Hell, I would even entertain Jermall Charlo versus Anthony Durrell. Danny Jacobs, by the way, is trying to fight Joe Smith at 175. Isn't that crazy? Hear that? But 160 look like it's just dead over there for him, yo. And that's why we're getting shit like this. So let's go talk about the undercard. Let's see who we got on here. Okay, the IBF dude. I saw him fight live, and I always butcher his name. Katrachilo Akdukahorov versus Cesar Miguel Barrio Nuevo. Okay, this undercard is looking pretty. Well, you got Angelo Leo versus Aaron Alameda. I like this fight. Isaac Cruz versus Francisco Vargas. Okay, I like these two fights. I mean, listen, you know, it's the main event. You know, it's just that's a problem to me, and it's not Jermall's fault. We can't really, you know, he's hit PBC on their side get hit with politics too, and this is a clear situation. You know, where it's like he has to be pride. You know. Unless they pull something. Wait a minute. Is Erislandy Lara still with Ronnie Shields? Who is he with? Because I would love to see Charlo versus Lara, but that may not happen. I'm out of the loop. I'm still getting back in the swing of things. But, you know, there's really nothing more to talk about. We'll be here for the card. We'll be covering the card. You know, it's a lot of cards that day, like Anderson Silva taking on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is going to be taking on Hector Camacho Jr. You have Teofimo Lopez versus Kenton Bosos on that same day. This is Juneteenth, by the way. You have Jaime Munguia, whose card is on that same day. Who else's card is on that same day? We got Tio. You know, Felix Sturm is fighting on that same day. Hold, let me pull it up. Let me show you the schedule for June 19th and how crazy it is. Let me show you real quick. This is from Dan Rayfield's Fight Freaks Unite website. It's awesome. He has the full boxing schedule. He updates it. So here, look. This is all on the 19th. The Charlo card that we just talked about. The Munguia card on the Zone. So you got Showtime, the Zone. This is the card I forgot. ESPN and Noye returns. Michaela Mayer's also on there defending her title. Dog Bay returns. Then you got this. That's on ESPN on Fight.tv pay-per-view. I'm buying this joint. This is probably going to be the biggest card of the night. Chavez Sr. versus Camacho Jr. Chavez Jr. versus Silva. Felix Sturm. Yuri Foreman returns. Jesus Christ. Rohan Murdoch. And wait, and then boom. Did Teofimo move? Oh, Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos for Sean Cruz Azern versus Elaine Soderus. 168 pound. Undisputed. Michael Hunter versus Mike Wilson. You see what I'm saying? Busy. Willie Monroe even on this joint. And the Chinaman. Ray Robinson. That card is stacked. June 19th, Juneteenth gonna be busy as fuck. And then we got this shit over here with Charlo. This is begging for a the next day, Sunday morning coverage. Because if you can't cover all these fights in one night. So I got to figure out which ones I'm going to cover. Like, that's going to get priority. So it's looking like priority is going to go to Lopez Kambosos. Munguia is getting next day coverage. And Noye, he going to get some coverage. You know what I'm saying? Can't leave Michaela Mayer, that tall drink of water right there. Got to give her some coverage. She definitely going to get her coverage. Shit. And then this card right here is going to steal the night. Heavy competition for Charlo. You see what I'm saying? This card going to be lit. And he still got to compete with the return of Felix Sturm and Yuri Foreman. I don't know, Charlo. Let's see what you can do. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. We are back. Please subscribe.